Greetings and welcome, one and all. It is time for Brony Dungeons and Dragons, and if I'm not mistaken, I think we are on either the very last chapter or the second to last chapter. Isn't that right, Josh?
Things got a little bit messy these past couple times because I'm not entirely sure. It's just, I know, like, I wanted to hit particular story beats, but unfortunately things got a little bit overlong, and what constitutes as a chapter is a little weird right now. So I'm just kind of I'm just kind of throwing organization out the window.
Oh wow, a season code written by me being long-winded. Who'd have thunk it?
Now, see, I was actually gonna bite my tongue on that, but since you brought it up,
but yeah, according to original notes, yeah, we're about to where the penultimate chapter would be.
Yeah.
So now we're past Infinity War or whatever. I don't know.
We're in the end game. Yes, we've been in the end game pretty much since Optima.
I don't know. I don't do the MCU anymore.
Yes, because you don't have taste.
Oh, owie!
Oh, mean.
And before somebody
I mean that is pretty. I mean, I'm not gonna argue. I do hang out with Shay after all.
Yay!
I mean, the lady ain't wrong.
All right, continuing on. Okay,
Alright, so if no one has any more snarky comments to make, I think I'll get this started.
You're talking to us. The snark will come later.
Yep.
Alright, then. I can just scroll up and... In the previous chapter, the party discovered the underground rock gnome city of Prazor. There, Ivan reunited with his surrogate father, Gustro Galores, who was about to lead a small group of air gnomes to acquire the dwarves' largest diamond to repower the city of Cumelus. During this time, he discovered most of the dwarves had survived the fall, were currently being cared for by the rock gnomes. Unfortunately, the drow had taken this opportunity to take over the cloud city of Cumelus and used its advanced technology to wipe Sabaton from the earth. Despite some tense negotiations, it has done nothing to placate everyone's fears about what's going to happen next. Soon, we will be off to war.
Not doing it. Not doing the joke. No.
Me neither.
What is it good for? Also, Ari, don't worry. I am again. I'm vice GM, and I forgot that the city even had its own name. So,
All
right. It's been a while since I've been in the throne room. Jaminia, Cassian, Gustro, Nephthys, and Jalerom have been talking for hours on the best approach to Cumelus. Other people have retreated to their own rooms to ponder their futures and await further instructions. What do you do?
Tantamile immediately goes to play with the bird.
Lucid's feeling oddly compliant and decides to actually play with Tantamile for once.
Tantamile just sort of grabs him and just like cuddles up to him and starts just grooming his feathers.
Fur confirmed.
He's a fuzzy bird.
If she isn't able to chase someone, it's not as much fun to play. So she'll just groom him, like she did with Bullied.
Yeah.
You gotta look pretty for the fight.
Whatever you say, furball. Okay,
Yeah.
Faye has Alvana's notebook out and she's studying it very intently. Remind me what to roll for that. Is it knowledge arcana or decipher script?
Yes.
So either one will work.
Should I pick
Josh,
the first
I
one or the
just
second
want
one?
you to know that I absolutely hate you. That is all.
Nice roll.
Ooh, it's good.
All right, so where is Alvana?
Alvana's notebook.
Where's that? Okay, so
Ow.
So, after studying Elvana's notebook a little bit more, you you're specifically focused on the level 10 area, and yeah, you basically give me 1 second. Need to
No, my wrist.
this, and this, and
Don't forget
this.
that.
I didn't
Which one?
forget
And
that.
that one?
All right, I have updated it.
Yeah, I still have no idea what any of this means. This might as well be hieroglyphics to me. But does Faye understand? Jeebus.
Okay, so
GM
yeah, basically
translation.
you figured out the little dashes mean exponents, and you figured the word comb means combination, and it's specifically in the level 10 area. In terms of this energy, you figure she's unsure whether or not a level 10 spell would require 10 to the 10th or 10 to the 11th, or some combination of the below.
Translation math.
Come on, guys! You all passed high school. You know what exponents are, right?
Yes, but math.
Josh,
Okay.
there's a
Full
study
disclosure, math's the only class I ever had to take a remedial in, so this is really my Achilles heel.
Besides,
Repeat high
there
school
is
math.
a study being shown that the modern education system really doesn't work to actually teach anything because people only learn what's needed for the tests, but then they forget the knowledge soon after because it is no longer relevant. Therefore,
90% of the time that's true,
high
yes.
school doesn't mean they necessarily learnt that information or retained it.
This is true.
Yes.
And this is why okay, I'm not going to get into a rant right now, so let's just continue. Sorry, education is a source. Education is my trigger point. Okay, I'm gonna mute for a little bit.
Feel free to rant at me later. I'm sure that I will empathize with everything you say.
I learned more watching educational YouTube videos than I did in any of my classes.
Exactly. Point being, you might need to give a bit of an explanation there.
Where can I
Anyway.
look at these formulas?
Oh, accountant at work.
Oh no!
Hang on.
I'm scared. I don't like
Nope.
formulas.
He's got this. Doc's got this.
It's
Oh,
college
that's
math all over
interesting. This
again.
is quite extensive. Goodness.
I don't like it.
See, I'm the English major. Josh actually enjoys math.
Yeah, well, I don't.
Nah, I don't either.
I actually took honors math and I still hated.
And
You say,
I just like patterns. Okay.
Okay, Ari, you said Josh likes math the same way someone would say Josh likes eating babies. Let me discuss.
Excuse
Josh
me?
likes maths.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just imagine if we were all like relatively close to the same ages and we all went to the same high school and every different group we'd be a part of.
Hence why
I would
Rather-
simply be the art major.
Rather not. I actually like being friends with you guys.
Oh yeah. Anyways,
Anyway.
Doc, have you decoded anything?
Have you decoded this ancient language called math?
Well, I'm noticing that tier 0 for level 3 is tier 2 for level 4, and tier 4 for level 5, and tier 6 for 6, so it's going up by 2 each time. Is that relevant for anything?
For the dragon, yes. However, for extraplanar, it goes up by 1 starting at level 5. And for what is the B? The beast. It goes up by 1 until level 7 when it stops.
There is no beast at 8 or 9, so we're looking at, if it goes up by 1, then that would be tier 6 extraplanar and tier 14 dragon.
Mm-hmm. And then who knows, maybe a little sprinkling of everything else. Also, she's a little full of herself in that she named a unit of measurement after herself.
No, really?
Am I the only one who noticed that?
No, I noticed it. I just didn't mention it.
Okay.
I noticed it. I didn't mention it either because, well.
Yeah,
oh
no,
wait,
I know.
I couldn't mention it. I forgot I'm not a player.
I imagine right now we're kind of the council of Phaetherin's voices in her head trying to figure out what's going on.
Oh heck, she has those too?
Okay, so it's interesting that there's no intelligent plants, virgins, or impure when you hit level 8 and above. So something in them becomes insufficient when you hit level 8. Maybe they don't go up to that kind of. I mean, what is a tier 4 intelligent plant?
Audrey too.
like a treant, maybe?
Oh no, Audrey 2 works better.
Piranha plant?
He is a mean green mother from outer space, as one would know if one would listen to the musical. To be honest, though, I absolutely despise Little Shop of Horrors.
Let's not go into that. I'm already seriously disoriented. I legitimately have no idea what any of you are talking about.
We're talking about the
If
code.
you look at this paper in better light, you'll be able to see more.
All right.
And you really want to stop that right now.
Yeah, we're done. We're done.
Okay, no more funny.
No more LSOH. How about that? All right.
Well, from your notes, you noticed that compared to level 7 and down, levels 8 and above are a little more incomplete than the previous levels.
Incomplete, not just insufficient. Okay, that's interesting.
Okay, so that means that there's a tier 5 intelligent plant at level 9, because there's a tier 4 at 7 and tier 3 at 5.
Uh-huh.
And there could very well be tier 7 beasts or tier 8 beasts.
Should I roll knowledge?
I'm honestly just gonna pretend I know what you guys are talking about.
Just roll a knowledge math.
John, should I roll knowledge? I'm legitimately asking. I'm not being a smart aleck.
Yeah, we're trying to help with the fact that your character will probably know things that you don't, so don't worry, we gotcha.
Yes.
Roll knowledge nature?
Not nobility, idiot. I can alphabet. Roll. Wow, that was a crap roll.
Well,
Still good.
good
Get 'em out now.
modifier though. So you're thinking back to many intelligent plants that you might have faced in your or read about in your past life, and then what pops into your head and almost killed you all?
I was afraid you were about to say Night Twist.
Yep.
Also, Ellie, were you wondering as what would count as a tier X beast?
That was, well, I guess Faye was, considering my Council of Voices was all contemplating.
That's now canon.
The Council of Fae.
The Council of Voices is now in session.
See, I
Right.
immediately think of like us in different colored Fae outfits, like Raven from Teen Titans in Nevermore.
Oh, I'm thinking of a scene from Order of the Stick, and Elguna Shive, where the characters' inner voices are just at war with each other.
Or Inside Out. I call anger.
Anyways, so contemplating tier blankety blank beasts. It's okay. It's okay.
Remind me to send you the thing after this session is over.
Hey Josh, you want to answer like tier blankety blank beasts?
You fought a biggin.
Nightmare Beast.
Hmm.
I was thinking more Tarask.
Either one.
Oh yeah, I remember the Nightmare Beast.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
not
I
the
gave it nightmares.
Glimmer Cloak, Kraken, honestly, probably would work.
Oh yeah.
We fought a lot of big beasties. That's the thing.
Okay, so I think she's asking, if I'm not mistaken, you're asking like, okay, so what is a tier 1 beast? What's a tier 2 beast? What's a tier 5 beast?
Kinda. I need a
oh.
scale.
Yeah.
Well, there really isn't much of a scale that you can determine from this. However, you're pretty sure that you can determine a scale according to dragons. Tier 0 would be an egg. Tier 12 would be an ancient dragon.
Okay, I think I got lost and I thought we were still talking about beasts. My bad.
I'll repeat what Josh said. You can't figure out a scale for the beasts, but you might be able to figure one by cross-referencing with the scale of the dragons. Am I correct?
I'm just saying right now that that's what you figured out at this moment from your roll.
Okay.
You
Just trying to help
guys
track.
should do other things while I look at this, because I'm trying to see a thing.
Just trying to make sure I'm helping with the translation, Josh.
Rhyme is sort of experimentally swinging around her new sword. She has not taken fencing lessons in about 4 years. So this is a little new on her.
One could say she almost finds the weapon offensive.
Stop.
I get it.
You're the one who hired him, Josh.
Well, it's good. It's good that what do you call it? It's good that Josh is here because when Shay makes fencing jokes, now he has a foil.
Okay, 2 things.
No.
First of all, that was hilarious, Finn. Second of all, I just looked at a notification that popped up from the D&D Discord server, and the notification was literally stab.
All right, so what else is everybody else doing?
I am pacing the room basically.
You have been since we logged in.
Yeah, basically just pacing, thinking.
Something you wish to share with us, Amber?
Just a lot on my mind, Owen.
I mean, maybe the fact that we're planning for war could be a little bit of a problem on the mind for most of us.
Yeah,
I was just kind of sitting in his chair, trembling a little bit.
that came out higher than I expected.
See, this is actually where I come into play. I've been at war. Do you have questions?
I look to Rhyme, kind of raising my eyebrow and then fidgeting. This isn't my first war technically either, but this would be the first time I went to war against beings that in my gut
You do not wish to kill.
they don't all deserve to be harmed. It goes against everything I am, and I recently just grew into a new body, and I'm kind of engaged, and I lost my father, and Amber kind of just where's the nearest window?
Amber,
Probably.
I-
Hold on. It's probably like over here, I would guess.
Amber, what you are feeling is perfectly normal and fair. Not everyone that we have to fight is going to deserve being fought. Most soldiers are just pawns in the fists of a very, very clever or cruel man or woman. But they signed up for it, usually. I'm not saying that there are some conscripted soldiers who would rather not be there, but they choose to fight for what they believe in. They choose at least some sort of semblance of belief in their cause. So whether or not they deserve it, they've still made that choice to fight. And it would be perhaps a disrespect to them and their choice to not acknowledge that and fight to your hardest. You do not have to kill. Incapacitate, sure. I know you. You have the ability to hold back if you need to. But choices have been made. Choices that we would we would rather not have been made. Let us just call a duck a duck. It's not an easy situation for anyone to be in. But right now, you're a soldier fighting for something you believe in. This is not This is not.
Amber kind of puts up her hand for a moment.
Mm.
I'm not a soldier. I don't want to be viewed as a soldier, Rhyme. It's not something I wish to carry as a title. But what upsets me is the fact that not only am I going into battle, but knowing what's about to happen and knowing what Rappus has set forth, I'm not going to have a choice but to, for the sake of protecting those I love.
My biggest, while we're on the topic of not having a choice, my biggest fear has nothing to do with soldiers. They know what they signed up for. At least most of them did. They had a choice to fight for their people. I'm worried that if we lose, those that weren't given a choice are going to have the will of a very terrible group of people thrust upon them. That is what I fear the most.
Ron looks over at Ivan. Then we sure better not lose.
Ivan clutches his loot. I'm not planning on it.
I know
Which
you're
is why I am going to go and see what I can do. to prepare. I slowly make my way to is the nearest window over here, DM?
Yep.
All right.
Amber, though, one thing. It has come to my attention through recent events and a few talks with Father Lightbringer that, and correct me if I'm wrong, no one is alone in this. Just do not think yourself alone, for when you give up on yourself, you will actually be giving up on more.
I kind of just chuckle to myself and turn around and wink, and I'm like, oh, I know I'm not alone. I'm going to go practice. Feel free to join me if you want.
I don't think I can really practice flying. I haven't grown my wings yet.
I had no intention of flying. I'm going to see what I can do.
I see.
Insert Elsa reference here.
No, insert, basically, she is going to go to an open area and start seeing how much she can lift or destroy.
She's testing out her new diamond powers. I followed.
Yes, basically.
Also, DM, can I roll Knowledge Arcana again?
Oh, sorry, no. I thought I sent that to you.
And that was the day that Idiot Grove became known as Idiot Crater.
I would offer to spot her, but I could barely lift the bar.
Yeah. Okay, are you saying that in character or out of character?
In character.
Okay. And no, my dear, you are definitely not going to be my partner.
I assume that you need something truly heavy to practice on. I might be able to polymorph something that would be incredibly difficult to break down.
Your stubbornness?
That could work.
I wasn't going to say anything, Phaethurin, but...
It was right there. I had to.
Actually, I was thinking I might practice with Ivan. You are going to be going up against some folks with weapons, with swords. And I need to practice with my sword. I want you to practice defense while I practice offense.
All right. That sounds like a plan.
Hey, Ivan, I want to use you as target practice. Yep, she's the new evil one.
Yep. No, but yeah, Amber kind of just glares like an evil smirk at Owen. If you're offering your services, try to keep up, old man. Yeah, Amber's a little snarky. Yeah, Amber's a little snarky today because she's kind of excited to see what she can do.
Right? So,
Faye just looks up from the book and is just watching them go out the window.
Well, Amber's probably going out the window. Owen's probably being sensible and using stairs.
Yeah.
You're the best around.
Because
no
he's
one's
not
ever gonna keep you down.
Because he's not Jalerom. He can do that.
Actually, if he's walking down the stairs, we should play the Rocky theme in reverse.
Mr. I'll make a man out of you. Okay, I'm done.
Okay, so this is
It's
interesting.
the eye of the dragon. It's the
Let
thrill.
Josh talk! Gosh!
Okay, so Amber and Owen are going to go outside and do some lifting. While Owen's practicing some different kinds of ways to utilize his polymorph and his creation spells, and Amber's like testing how much she can lift. While that's happening, Rhyme is, practicing her fencing, and I'm just imagining this is kind of like Trunks and Goku. It's like testing out the sword because Ivan has his oath. He's just like He's just using 2 fingers to block the sword.
I don't.
He doesn't want to hit hard enough because he's afraid he might shatter it.
I was
That's
thinking.
true. Actually.
I was thinking he was more supposed to work on dodging, but that works too.
Well, speaking
Okay,
of Dragon Ball Z,
I
dodge!
do have like a really high tumble check. I could practice dodging, so.
Bam.
Yeah, and then Rhyme, after Ivan gets really good at dodging, you decide to let go of the sword and begin to practice, like waving it around, and then Ivan's like hopping up and down left and right like a demented rabbit, just trying to dodge this thing.
Because I don't need to hold it for it to be used. It's sort of like Hana's Dancing Blades spell kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm asking.
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
Sorry, you sounded like sorry.
Well, you phrased it like a statement, so I figured, okay.
There was a lilt to the end that was supposed to be questioning. My bad.
I misprocessed your statement too, Ari. So meh. Anyway,
and Thurin is still doing a lot of reading and occasionally looking over at Tantamile and Lucid to make sure that they aren't playing too rough.
Tantamile should be nice to Faether and brings Lucid over gently by his tail, and then just continues to sort of snuggle on him, and almost at one point lays on top of him.
And while you all are doing that, a guard walks in.
I figured me and Owen are outside because I'm too big.
A guard walks in and he says, "All right, your presence is requested at the council room. Where are Father Lightbringer and Lady Hawthorne?"
Off
And then
doing
all of a
something.
sudden, there's
More
a huge
training.
There's a huge thud outside the castle.
There.
Just follow your ears. You'll find him.
Yeah, he walks over to the window, opens it up, and says, "Oi! Council room!"
Oh, I was just having fun.
Well, you've been doing this for about half an hour or so. So, with that, you all head to the council room and... All right. The atmosphere is very heavy the moment you enter. Ziadro looks tired, more tired than usual. Queen Nephthys looks absolutely frustrated. Gustro's eyes are poofy and red. Jalerom's face is calm, though you can detect a small nervousness behind it. Jaminya's face bears a look of determination.
I'm sorry, honey, you said it wrong.
Jaminia is filled with determination.
Well, that, but he also has been. We were streaming Undertale, and Josh has a special way to say determination. So, Josh, I'm waiting.
No, I'm not gonna do that. It's like these are two separate things.
Ah!
Do it. It'll have crossover appeal.
Please
Do
don't.
it.
Please don't.
No,
Sorry,
stop.
So, with the first casualty being the tone, who's gonna die next?
Alrighty.
If Faye, it comes over to the table. By the looks on your faces, we either have some semblance of a plan, or we have nothing at all.
Jaminia looks towards you. We do have a plan, thankfully, and well, I'll let everyone else go. Gustro, you first. According to my calculations, we have less than a day before the Drow are able to utilize the power they used to... He looks over to Cassian do what they did in the same way again. As soon as those words leave his mouth, Cassian just kind of like sinks. But then he just kind of gets his bearings back and then gives a small cough and continues. But you can tell that he's very much straining to keep himself level. We've gathered our armies together into specific battalions, but unfortunately, many of our captains and lieutenants perished in the Selenian forest fire. We're currently short on leaders, or leaders who know what they're doing. So we talked, and at Jalerom's recommendation, we figured that the best ones to lead the drow, other than leaders like myself, would be the ones who have the most experience fighting drow. He gestures to all of you. Each one is going to need an individual to lead them, and that's where all of you come in.
What?
Us?
Jal speaks up. We're going to, like, you guys are going to be leading your own battalions.
Amber takes a step back.
Are you kidding? I'm no leader.
Queen Nephthys raises her hand. Don't worry, we were smart about this, and based on Jalerom's recommendations and many of our personal preferences, we've assigned you all units that you would be comfortable and effective with. We are going to have some time to familiarize ourselves with them. And you really should, because you're going to be fighting for your very lives alongside them. We've already messaged everyone else in the castle. They're probably already in the fortress courtyard. They're familiarizing themselves with their battalions at the moment.
John takes out a piece of paper and just like it's almost like a select person of like individuals, and then next to it is like the battalion that they're going to be in charge of. So we had some thought about this. Everyone has their own some of their own personal preferences. But I guess we'll start with my group. Actually, this would help if I get the Alatasca units thing I made. So,
Is this just what you do all day when we're not in session?
Well, this one I had help with Josh. So, yeah, let me just make sure I got the... There we go. Making sure I have the right ones. Alright, so... Alright, Jalum speaks up. So... Faye? I'm gonna have you paired up with a summoner battalion. Yet they have the ability to summon hippogriffs, and they have a melee attacks with and they use melee attacks with daggers. I think you would do well with them.
Okay.
Ryan?
Fairther, and you say you're not a leader. Well, you're going to need to lead a family when this is all over. Think of it as practice. Trust me, some of these battalions probably have the maturity of those you're going to be dealing with.
Ryan?
You really know how to raise morale.
Ryan, I'm having you paired with the longbow archers. I believe, hang on, it would help if I have the, I think it was these wood elves? Just double check. Yes, I'm having you paired up with the longbow archers with the wood elves.
Alright.
Amber?
I don't have much archery practice, but I am used to long distance, so this should be interesting.
Well, I only say that because they know how to find traps as well. So
shouldn't that be your squad then?
I'll get to that.
All right.
Amber.
I could hear you trying not to laugh, Kel.
It's hard.
Okay. Amber, I'm having you paired up. I'm having you paired up with Scrapper Brawlers. So I'm having you with your own fist fighting legion.
Yes! Oh my gosh, I'm on board with that.
Fist fighting legion.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
And now
I'm excited
imagining her with
for
a Kung
you.
Fu
Oh my
Ninja
gosh.
Squad.
No.
Kinda. Ivan. This is kind of obvious. I'm pairing you up with a healer battalion.
Okay, I can handle that.
Jam, you already know this. You're going to be with the light cavalry from I think it's Directian. I think I put you under.
Yes.
Light cavalry under Directians. And oh boy, how do I put this? Owen, I'm having you paired up with the heavy cavalry of the heavy cavalry battalion of Directian.
Fascinating.
Ryan looks over at Owen. Do you know how to ride a horse?
I don't have to ride a horse. All I really need to do is make myself large enough to where my steps match their full gallop.
Don't step on any of them.
Oh my gosh, I just got an Attack on Titan mental image.
No, I was thinking Ant-Man.
Jalvin just had that thought, and just pause for a second and just gives a, I guess that works.
Okay, out of character. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. I love this so much. Oh my gosh, Amber's with fist fighters, and Ivan's obviously a healer. And oh my gosh, it's gonna be
Giant dwarf, diamond dragon, leading the forces. I love it.
Yep, and
oh my gosh, it's Ant-Man with his toy horsies. It's great.
No,
Do you need a tranquilizer?
I need to mute.
Hey Owen, what? Did you see anything? No, I didn't catch you playing with your toy horses again. Good.
All I was thinking with Owen was, well, after all the time I've spent carrying this team, it would be nice to have something carry me for once.
Okay, now, here's the thing. You guys are going to be leading. And not just your own battalion, but leading the attack on Cumelus.
Question.
Yes?
How are we getting up there? All of us?
As Jaminia raises her hand. Well, a combination of things. Not only are the dragons going to help us get up there, but we have a lot of clerics who are able to cast airwalk.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, yep. And I had some thoughts about who goes next. So you guys are going to be taking the lead. The next landing party is going to be nothing but support. So I do have Duke Athorian and his buffer battalion going along with this. Enzio and the Elven Spear Infantry. Farandwil and the Enchantment Mages. Utharian and his Scout Battalion. Lavendia and her Protector Battalion. And Cezaean and the Nature's Fury Battalion.
Did he name
The
that?
way you said that.
Did Bluebell name that?
No, I did.
Okay.
They have the ability to call lightning, so lightning plus lightning, if it. Okay. Next, third landing party. These are the helping hands. So if we're ever in a pinch, these are the guys who are going to provide a little bit of defense or a distraction. So I have Gareth and Nora pairing up with the basic infantry from Directian. And then I have Cassian. He's going to be pairing up with the companion fighter battalion. I have Beline and her Fae flock to follow up. Ziadril is also going to be a part of this with her Evoker battalion. Nyan and her Moonlight Warriors, they will also follow up. And then Verdok and his Earthforger battalion will be part of the Helping Hand. The next landing party will be the counterattack. Once everyone has a good Helping Hand, we're going to get a second offensive. So, Sylvester and Murphy, they'll be paired up with the Transmutation Mages. I'm actually going to... we also have a Battle Bard battalion to help inspire courage. Queen Nephthys and her Vine Shaper battalion will be part of this. We also have Battle Medics who can do, cure serious wounds. And Job's looking at the sixth one. Unfortunately, the only other person I need for this is currently out of commission, and that's King Orkram and his Dwarven Hammers. So we might be a little lacking in that portion. And then finally, the final push. This is the final landing party. Like I said, a couple of dwarves are out of commission, so I did have the Dwarven Spear fighters here. Princess Philanus and her Nature's Ally battalion will be part of this. The Shortbow Archers will be part of this. I had a thought about this. I think because we don't have that much as far as blunderbusses, I'm putting these guys in the final push. We're also going to have Sabaton's Shield Infantry. And then finally, if she's ready and willing, I'd like to have Sarita and the Fire Elves Heavy Cavalry as part of the last unit.
Sarita is a talented magic user. I hope she's feeling up for it.
So do I.
She is... If she is, you will not find anyone more capable or incredibly skilled. But fragility and, well, Ziadril, if I may say so, we in Phoenix Ward have had a rough couple of weeks.
I think that's a bit of an understatement. But there's another thing we need to talk about. In each battalion, we are going to have a communications specialist to help us relay messages between each other, and so Jalerom can issue orders. And this communication is special because it is undetectable by normal magical means.
Are we doing tin cans on strings?
Funnily enough, that was the inspiration.
What?
¿Qué pasó?
A demonstration. A demonstration. She snaps her fingers and a figure walks in. Let me just grab this real quick. And... it appears to be some sort of fire elf with a strange electrical apparatus affixed to them.
Where? Where's he at? Where?
Down to the right here.
Near Ziadril.
Yeah. Oh, I see that. Okay. Oh.
So, could we get a quick demonstration of this apparatus? The fire elf gives a soldier's bow, and starts flicking a couple switches, and then the device whirs to life. Check it. Testing 1 2 3. Checking 1 2 3. Do you copy me? Over. And then you hear like this very distorted voice coming from her. Copy that. Hear you loud and clear.
What?
Oh my gosh, it's walkie-talkies.
Come in. Can you hear me?
Radios. I think we're supposed to making this sound a little bit cooler than that, Bliss.
But yes, it's so Ziadro smiles. In case you were wondering, that's how we've been able to keep our communication with the dragons secret from the drow for so long. I'm sure you noticed the giant steel towers on Autumnfire? Those were our beacons.
Oh.
That's how you hide something from a drow. You stick it under their tiny noses and wait.
Jal quips up, hiding in plain sight. And then he points to like his wardrobe.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of hiding in plain sight, how do you suggest I go in? As human or drow?
Nephthys raises her hand. I believe that it would be best for you to enter as human, considering that most of them, if not all of them, don't know about your transformation.
As you wish.
Maybe best to try and keep the thing going as long as possible.
As you wish.
Right.
Oh, there's one thing I probably should have mentioned. I need to foresee everything. Which means I'm not going to have a battalion. My battalion is going to be a Marta.
Quite an adequate battalion, if I may say so.
True. But if anything, I need to be up in the air to make sure I can see everything. And the big question now is, when do we strike?
Gustro talks. Well, we do have at least. He starts counting on his fingers. Carry 4 hours. We have at the very least 4 hours, maximum 9. So that's the time frame we're looking at.
Until what?
Until the thingy happens again.
Jalerom takes a step outside. DM, about what time of day is it currently?
It is a little past the afternoon, like 1 o'clock.
Jalem's like looking intently at the sky, assuming like Cumelus is close by, and then he just like stares at the clouds and the sky, and then he takes a pause.
Amael?
You know what? I think all we need is right up there.
Mm-hmm. Amael, what are you thinking?
Well, let me put it this way. If I was staring directly at it, I'd be a little disoriented now, wouldn't I?
Faye looks confused for a moment. Then she, blinks and looks up at the sky and then looks back at him. You're not suggesting...
Jalen points, follow me. Jalen takes a seat back at the table and then starts doodling, Josh, if you will.
And a memento, por favor. And... food.
Voice, how do you do these things?
He's very talented.
Also, I have time to think in the shower.
You mean the hypothetical conversation generator?
This is not a mental image I needed. Thanks, voice.
So let me get this straight. You want us to approach from the sun?
Well, not exactly. Basically, I want to use the sun to our advantage. Basically,
you want us to attack from behind when the sun temporarily has them distracted?
When the sun has basically completely engulfed, the sunlight basically has engulfed Cumelus.
Okay.
For one, it's they can't see it coming for a multitude of reasons, and basically, it's the giant ball in the sky. But in order to do that,
drow are sensitive to bright light.
Exactly.
Like what happened to Alvana when Jaminia emerged.
Bingo. That's why I was suggesting when this was more of a ground war that we have, like the ability to use glitter dust and daylight or have a flash grenade handy. But because now it's an air battle on a ground plane, as it were, we have to use we have to use our elements to our advantage. So the idea is, as he points, to use the angle of the sun to where it's perfectly clasped on Cumelus. And start off with an aerial raid. And it points to the one on the right. Attack from the front and circle our way around. So that way we can take out any ballistas, cannons, incapacitate magic users that are better suited for ranged combat. And like we said earlier about the about the airwalk, that's basically while the first wave of while the dragons are going to be circling around, taking out any heavy artillery, we'll make a first landing party either from the sky or from above via cloudwalk. From below via cloudwalk. It's simple, but it could be effective.
Plans don't always need to be complicated.
Nope.
And simpler is easier to follow.
Exactly.
To be honest, the simple plan is going to be much better than a complicated one because that's exactly what the drow are going to do, underestimate us. And they're going to underestimate such a simple plan.
Right. Now,
I don't know that they will underestimate us. Not with Ravis in charge.
Now, my only caveat...
I think they own the role, but we're going to see it differently.
Now, my only caveat is that we do cast a second sunlight on the opposite side. A second sunlight or cast daylight on the opposite side, so that way both sides of Cumelus are completely engulfed in sunlight. Because you're either staring directly at the sun, or you're at that or you're trying to aim with that irritating glare in the corner of your eye, and your aim's going to be off by a lot, unless you're shooting magic missile.
Question.
Answer.
I just thought of something. Does airwalk work on horses? Because we have a couple of cavalry units going up there, and really, horses don't fly.
Yes.
Knowledge is... Okay, I was about to ask, should I roll in knowledge, but you just answered.
I'm just... It just occurred to me, because I was thinking about Owen's battalion. I'm like, how's he going to get everybody up there?
Sorry, knowledge nature or do horses fly?
No! Knowledge Arcana does airwalk affect horses?
Okay.
They do.
Jeez!
Come on.
Give me some credit. I have more brain cells than the YouTube owners.
No, definitely demonetized.
So, with that, Ziadril stands up. Now, we are going to leave. We have a lot of work to do. Jaminia said she wanted to talk to you all about something, so we're going to take our leave.
We're going to get down to business to defeat the drow.
So,
everyone leaves, except for Jaminia and Jalerom. Jaminia turns toward all of you. How are you all doing?
Faye answers by just sitting down heavily in the nearest chair.
Still having trouble with Alvana's notebook.
And she throws the bloody thing on the table. I can't figure it out. And I know that I'm missing something obvious, but... Ugh!
Let me have a look. This will be Decipher Script. Nope.
Oh!
Nope.
Paper cut.
That's a big ol' nope.
Nope.
He used all his brain cells on the sun plan.
On as Tantamile zooms around the room, she hops on the book and just knocks it off the table and then zooms away. There we go.
Also, I just realized this is kind of another sentient daimon because, again, it makes sense that Jal might struggle to get it because it's not a deciphered, it's not a coded script, it's more someone's shorthand.
Anyways.
So the techniques to decipher would probably be different.
Anyways.
Okay, you're doing it again.
Anyways, so you don't really learn anything from it. You're a little exhausted, but Jaminia looks very a little exhausted herself, and she sits down in the chair and sighs. We certainly have our work cut out for us. Not only now with this stupid war, but after the war. We have 2 cities to rebuild, families to reunite. I don't even want to know what the politics situation is going to be afterwards, but I'm going to be the one that's going to have to deal with it.
Only 2 cities to rebuild.
You know what I mean. Two cities that were wiped off the face of the earth.
Wait, which was the second?
Gatlas.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's been so long.
It's okay.
I'd say Optimar could also use some repairs.
Yes.
Honestly, my biggest concern is not just Sabaton and Gatlas, but what of Ravis's people?
That's probably going to be the hardest one. Because you know how people are. They get it into their heads that something is the right thing to do. They feel that it's a moral obligation to do I have to do something, or
Isn't that literally why we're at war with them?
You missed my point.
He's worried about someone raising up to stand the same fight that Ravis is fighting now.
And I'm also afraid that people will exercise violence against the Drow people for some sort of misguided sense of justice. And that might in turn make those who believe in Drow superiority feel vindicated.
There's no doubt we are looking at long years ahead of us, one way or another.
Politics is fun, isn't it?
Why do you think I kill things? Politicians, from my experience, the only fun politicians are politicians that are no longer in your way.
Ouch.
To be fair,
I don't have much experience with you.
Fair enough.
To be fair, politicians are kind of like assassins too, except they kill people through gross incompetence.
Yep.
You ain't wrong.
Well, if that's the case, then I think we should probably go familiarize ourselves with our units. As she says that, Jalerom, you hear a voice in your head. Don't react. Say you have something to do. Make an excuse, but I need you to stay here.
You guys go on ahead. I'm gonna continue working on battle strategy.
Well, you don't really have a battalion anyways. Although, would you like me to leave Tantamile here just in case you need to speak with us really quickly? I don't think you have one of those
No.
walking and speaking contraptions.
Rhyme, no. I can handle this. I'm totally
right.
fine.
All right, but don't hesitate to call for us if you need anything. Okay?
I won't.
That's why I was going to leave the cat, but whatever.
Faye goes over and kisses Jalerom on the cheek, and try not to burn yourself out.
Jalerom nods.
And then she picks up the notebook and heads to leave.
All right. You hear the voice in your head again, Jalerom. Get to an alone spot.
All right. Walking. Scrolling. Walking. And then closes the door behind him. And then sits in the corner.
What the heck? Why did I hear, like, wooden chimes or something like that?
I don't know.
All right. You shut the door, you sit down, and you see someone appear in the corner.
Holy... Okay.
I was so afraid it was going to be Asmodeus.
I was afraid it was going to be Sorn!
My butt was clenching a little.
It's
Okay, I'm gonna mute.
Yep.
Yeah.
Me too. I gotta.
Yep, everybody.
it's good to see you.
It's good to see you too. They got a lot ahead of you.
I'm not the only one.
How are you feeling?
Nervous beyond all reason.
Well, good. If you weren't, I think there was something wrong with you.
Better question. How are you feeling?
I am nervous as well, but such is the life of a god. Sometimes you wish for the best from the people who are your charges, and you try your best, but in the end, their decisions are their own.
That is true.
I'm in a very weird situation right now.
Concerns Rob.
Have you ever had... Sort of. Are you ever in a situation... How many times have you had to be in a situation where you have had to have faith that things will turn out all right?
More times than not.
Yes. A lot of the gods are in that situation right now. This is complicated, and you know Alidamara, right? He's one of my best friends.
Of course.
But you know how even best friends sometimes keep secrets from each other?
Of course.
I don't know what, but Alidamara is planning something. Something huge, and he refuses to tell me what it is, only to, how ironic, have faith that he has our best interests at heart. I will admit, sometimes it is hard to trust him. But every goal of his has been achieved. Everything he said would come to pass has come to pass. The proof is in the pudding, as it were. One of his instructions was for all of us not to talk to all of you throughout this ordeal.
Interesting.
I'm sorry. There are so many times I wanted to talk to you, to help you, to assuage you, to encourage you, and I'm not the only one. I've had to talk with so many of the other deities who have wanted to talk to all of you, but Alidamara begged us not to, saying it would mess up his plans, and
I see.
It hurt. Every second of it. It hurt us to not help you, to not stop your hurting, but we chose to trust our friend, and we are continuing to do so. He actually moves over to Jalerom and actually kneels. I hope you can forgive us.
Jalerom places a hand on Erevin's shoulder. I forgive you. And he...
Okay, this feels a little backwards.
So, and he sort of brings him in for a hug. I'm not sure if you're the hugging type, but I think you need it.
Oh no, I like hugs. You'll find that most of us in our little circle are okay with hugs. Some of us are a little shy about it, but I am not one of them.
Do you like warm hugs?
I was trying not to say it. Darn you.
I'm just thinking back to when they first met Erev and how much of a standoffish jerk he was. Wow, this is a transition.
And I love it.
Anywho, are there any questions you might have? I'll try to answer the ones that Alidamara has not vetoed.
Something has been on the back of my mind. And I think it's actually also been on the back of Phaethurn's, Amber's, Ivan's, and most certainly Owen's. Is Rayan still alive?
You see Erevan take a step back. That is a veto.
Understood. Trying to think. Trying to think off the top of my head as far as questions to ask. How are you going to prepare if the worst case scenario comes on, that comes to fruition? Do you have a contingency?
We do. Aludamara insists that he knows what he's doing. In my experience, that phrase is usually accompanied by horrible, terrible failure, but Aludamara's record speaks for itself.
All right, then. Okay, random...
Here, in order to give you a little bit more time to figure out the questions that you want, can I just say thank you for asking? I know it's stupid, but, like, I still get really happy that people care about Rayan.
Okay.
You did a fantastic job playing him. Plus, he's kind of special to us because he's the first time we got to actually see you in this role, so...
I know, but, like, with all the controversy behind him and his conception and stuff like that...
No, so Rayan is removed from that. We love Rayan.
Yes.
Okay, so it just warms my heart that people still care about him that much. So, okay. Back to it. Jalerom, go ahead and answer your questions. I just wanted to say that and give you some time.
Rain's best baby, bye.
Did I say something quickly to give him time too?
Go ahead.
Sure.
I was just thinking when Erevan first shows up. Erevan, it's you. What? I thought you'd be happy to see me. Actually, I'm overjoyed to see you. It's just I'm no longer used to getting good news.
Okay. Anyway,